Hello, YouTube knife enthusiast and valued viewers. Byron at Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the Knife and EDC channel. Today is Thursday, a thankful Thursday, August 13th, 2026. And that means it's time to do a Thankful Thursday video. And we're going to dedicate this video today to all of the military and first responders out there that need to find and carry heavy-duty equipment that they can rely on, they can trust, but won't break the bank, and that's the issue today. I recently had a conversation with a new police officer. He finished his academy training about 6 to 8 months ago, has been on duty ever since, and he was complaining about the number of dollars that he needs to have to equip himself with the gear that they recommend for him carrying on a daily basis. And he said he had been recently looking for a knife that he could carry as a duty knife. It needed to meet certain specifications, but everything he was looking at was hundreds of dollars. And I said, yeah, that can be a problem in today's economy and market, even with discounts and stipends that are usually supplied to help gear out a first responder. I said, what if I could tell you that I could give you this knife? And I pulled this knife out of my pocket. It happened to be my carry today. What if I told you I could put you in this knife for $79? And if you want to spend $20 less, you could have the same knife just with a Wharncliffe blade. I thought he was going to fall out of his chair. He said, you're kidding. After he took a look at this, he said, I think you just sold me my next knife. I don't know whether he's going to get it or not, but the knife in question is the one on the table today. And it is a regular carry for me or truck knife that I keep in the truck. This is the Off-Grid Knives Stinger in the Rapid Fire series. Now, the Rapid Fire series, there are about 3 or 4 knives in the series that Off-Grid has produced, and they all have a spring-assisted opening on the mechanism. There you go. Look how quick that blade snapped out of there. Now, it is not a switch blade. It is a spring-assisted blade. Now, the difference is that this, first of all, this blade comes out the side of the knife. It's not an out-the-front automatic, all right? And there is a spring that you manually have to compress to close the knife, but then that spring tension built into the blade right now is what helps snap it out when you deploy it. All right. Now, there are some states that civilians are not allowed to carry spring-assisted knives. They're considered to be a quote-unquote automatic. However, first responders, this is what they actually recommend. So I showed him this and I said, I would definitely take a look at this. I said, it's been a great knife for me. I've had it for almost 4 years now, 4.5 years, and it does a great job cutting. So let's go over the specifications of this Stinger Rapid Fire series. When open, the overall blade is 8 1/4 inches long. It has a 4 3/4 inch long handle, but the inner grip from that flipper tab to the pommel is 4 inches exactly. It has a 3.5 inch, I'm going to go ahead and set the knife down on the table. It has a 3.5 inch blade that is a spear point shaped blade. It is saber ground, which means it has a double grind from the center of the knife down to its edge and then also up to the spine. And that gives it the ability to basically make very penetrative cuts, such into a car door or into a window and then pry it loose, those type of activities. All right. Sharp edge on this. It is made of cryo D2 steel. Now, D2 steel is a high-speed tool steel that was used to make manufacturing dies in the tool and die industry, but is very tough, very strong, has a good edge when sharpened, and will retain that edge for a pretty long time. Now, when a steel is cryo-treated, it means that it goes through a very, very cold finishing process that helps the steel become even tougher and harder than it would without that treatment. And so this is really a great blade steel and treatment for a first responder knife. All right, the knife weighs 6.4 ounces overall. All right, it is a flipper deployed knife. There's the flipper tab. The G10 scale handles, which is a thermoplastic that's used to make gun grips and various weapon accessories in this industry, is also used by Off-Grid to make some of their knife handles. It provides a very good texture that can be put into the G10 plastic to give it very good texture in case you're wearing gloves or bodily fluids happen to get on the knife handle while in use. It provides that extra grip necessary to retain the knife. All right, this does have a ambidextrous deep carry pocket clip. If I turn the knife over, you can see that if this knife is put into a pocket, it will go all the way into the pocket, so just the clip is exposed on the outside of the pant leg. That is called deep carry. And it's fastened by 2 screws, and if necessary, you can rotate that clip over to the other side. Now, the reason you would do this is if you want a left-handed or a right-handed front pocket carry. All right, you should always carry your knife tip up, and when that tip is up, you want the knife blade facing the hem, the outside hem of your pocket. So if it does come open, chances are that blade is going to self-close itself into the knife handle. So that's its ambidextrous pocket clip. What else can I tell you? The blade, when you have it open, is 1.25 inches high or wide. It's made of 3 millimeters blade stock. Notice that blade stock and the handle up on top are jimped, or in other words, you have friction grooves that are put into that blade and that thumb ramp to give you extra grip so you don't slide off of that knife when you're trying to use it. All right. And this one is the Blackout series. Now, it also comes in a coyote tan color, almost like a flat dark earth. So either color you can get. This one also is black washed and stone treated with a titanium nitride coating on the blade to provide some additional corrosion resistance to that semi-corrosion resistant D2 steel. All right, I think that pretty much covers the specs on it. This is made for Off-Grid knives in Taiwan and imported into the States. But this knife could be yours for a price right now of $79 from the Off-Grid Knives website. Sometimes you can find it a little cheaper on Amazon. I would just suggest you try both places. Now, this knife also comes with a lifetime warranty. Should you break the blade, you can basically send this knife back in, register your warranty claim, and they will either provide you a new blade and replace it, or they will give you a knife of comparable size and functionality. All right, which is an excellent warranty to have for EDC gear for a military or first responder. All right, now if you can live with a Wharncliffe blade, in other words, a blade that has an extremely flat edge, but then its spine comes all the way down a curve to meet that flat edge. Right now, you can get a warehouse steel from Off-Grid Knives, and that Wharncliffe rapid-fire knife will run you $59. And all in all, I think a really great price to outfit our military and first responder personnel with a heavy-duty folder like the Stinger Rapid Fire. Well, that's going to do it for me, Byron at Splitting Slices, saying split a slice with a friend soon. Until my next video, everybody please take care, have fun, stay safe, and again, don't forget to split a slice with a friend. Take care.